Hi, I'm Roger,
I'm Adam.
And I'm Grant.
and welcome to Roll or Die. This is our Never Again Not Five. It's not the game. It's me, right? This is our list of games that we played, but they're actually good games. Well thought of games, but just wasn't for us. I didn't connect with it. Didn't like the game. So this is our not five games that we don't. Um, Never again. I just don't want to play them.
Right. And we want to make clear this is not a slam on the company, the designer. We just wanted to give you an idea of our certain personal tastes.
Sure.
That's why we're going over this list. And these are just games that, for a variety of reasons, we
Yep.
never want to play again.
I know on my list there are the companies that were on my hot 5.
Mm-hmm.
There's some of those same brands are on my not
Yep.
5 because
Yes.
I just don't like that style of game.
Right.
So, Grant, Adam, who wants to go? Let's start out, right?
I'll
Start at the
start
far
out
end,
with my
Chuck.
number 5.
Okay.
So my number 5 is an old school tactical volume 1. Not my style of game. It's just that simple. It's a very finite moving tactical game, and it's just not something that interests me. I do like a couple of tactical games that are out there. This one's just it's too fine for me.
So I purchased this game. Grant's played my copy. It's a World War II combat game with the tiny square chits and lots of consulting of charts for various hit rolls and everything else and movement.
Some people love that. Some people
I like it.
Yeah, really into it.
But as an interesting comparison, Grant and I have been playing Undaunted Normandy this weekend, a new war game, a reskin that's come out recently, and it's card driven, smaller, plays in 30 minutes. And I think you're a lot more favorable on that one.
I really like that game.
Okay. Actually, your number 5 was
My number 5 was Old School Tactical Volume 1.
Volume 1. Awesome. Well, my number 5, and I'm probably think I'm piling on here, but it's Robinson Crusoe. And oh man, Ignacio is a great designer. I love some of his other games, but I just not Portal Games. I love them as a company, but I played this twice, and at the end of it literally I felt like I was on a desert island, and I was trying to survive the game, So it just wasn't for me.
And it's a game that can feel like a death march a little bit with the elements coming against you. Bad
Yes.
rolls, bad cards.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see
And the
that one.
resource management is just I've tried I want to I like it's very aesthetically pleasing looking game. I just couldn't get into it. So my number 5 is Robinson Crusoe.
Okay. My number 5 is from a game we just recently celebrated on our top 5. That's Chip Theory Games, and that is Cloudspire. This is a game board version of like a MOBA with lots of minions moving along a set path, your tower defense. The thing that just rubbed me the wrong way, and I knew it wasn't for me, is the amount of, I'll call it bookkeeping.
Right.
But just all the little steps you have to take. You have to move these guys and do this and do that. It made every turn seem so long, and it's a long game.
Yes.
It's at least
Oh.
there's a couple different versions of how you can play this, but the 3-player battle we did was 4 hours. It was 3 or 4 hours, and it felt like the outcome was kind of already certain. And
Yeah.
I was just bored out of my mind between turns
Yeah.
because I didn't have much decision space to do. It was
I
just
love Chip Theory
Yeah.
games. I love the company. I love Too Many Bones, but
trip lock. I like that.
Trip
too.
lock, yes, absolutely. But I just can't. I'm with you there. I agree. It was just we knew that who was going to win, and then we still played for another 45 minutes till we got there.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. How about our number 4s?
I'll start with this one. Dixit. This is a sort of storytelling game where you draw cards and the player whose turn it is, I think the storyteller, they tell a story about one of their cards and everyone else tries to put in a card that might match that to fool other people.
Right.
I just don't really like these sort of not a party game. It's just a super light collective experience.
It's association game too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Kinda like
and
a
the
visual
storytelling
association.
element. It doesn't have enough game elements for
I
me.
don't know. I'm going to disagree, but
You can disagree. No, I know Dixit's popular, and there's
I
been
love
a
Dixon.
lot
I like the game. Yeah.
of times like that. And other games I might put on this list might be like Mysterium too.
Yeah, Mysterium's a better version of Dixit.
Yeah,
I would agree.
but I just know that whole genre game is off.
Okay. My number 4 is Terra Mystica. I just can't. Oh yeah, it's a Euro game, German game, and there's just too many moving parts for me. I get bogged down. I can handle one area of resource management, and there's like 6 other areas I have to manage, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't have the bandwidth for Terra Mystica. So.
I have to disagree here. I love Terra Mystica. It's a
Yep.
pain. It's a real pain to teach. Real pain. But once you get players that are into it, I love Terra.
Yep.
I didn't mind it.
Okay.
I didn't mind it. So, it's not something I would play all the time. It is heavy, but it was a good game.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass. All right. How about your number 4, Grant?
My number 4 is going to catch the world by surprise, but it's Catan. It's not for me. I'll just say that it's not for me.
I agree with you. I rarely would ever want Catan to hit the table.
Well, we may get a lot of people who unsubscribe, but I gotta agree with you.
We're not Catan players.
I don't like Catan either.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's usually it actually is what kind of launched the boutique board game.
It did.
Genre. It's like the crossover to the mainstream. And I have friends that are like, when they find out I play quote unquote real board games, they're like, "Oh, so you play Catan?" And I'm like, I have, yeah, but I don't anymore.
Keep your sheep, keep your wood.
Exactly. I'm sorry.
I don't want it.
Yes, don't trade me that.
No, that's one we all agree on.
Yes, we all agree on Catan. How about our number 3s? So my number 3, if you watched our Hot 5 list, this same publisher, this same form of game made my Hot 5 games I love. And it's my not 5, number 3. I think it was my number 3 in the Hot 5. But that's Arkham Horror LCG.
Really?
Yes. I'm sorry, but I don't. It's not that I don't want to hit it to the table, but it's like, it's been so long since I played it. There's been so many expansions and so much that's come out. I'm like, maybe if I just played just what I had, I might put it back to the table. But when I have Arkham Horror 3rd Edition, why would I want to go back to the living card game? I don't know. I just like the 3rd edition. I like the board game aspect. I just like it better. I think there's 3rd edition is the better alternative for my preference. I'll just say that. So yeah, my number 3, not for me, is Arkham Horror, the living card game.
That one hurts me.
Sorry, Adam.
In its quick defense, not that it needs defense, I love the campaign and the decision making and that their choices carry over from game to game. And that's something I hope carries over to a game we both love, and that's Marvel Champions.
And again, I love Arkham Horror as a property. I love Eldritch. I love Dunwich. I love all of those.
Oh, yeah.
I love all of that Cthulhu, Lovecraftian world. Love Fantasy Flight games. But just the LCG, it's not worth it for me. I'd rather just play 3rd edition. So
Okay.
that's just me.
All right, my number 3 is also an FFG title. It's now back to WizKids, and that is Fury of Dracula. This is a game I was very excited to own. I'm a huge Universal Monsters fan. This game was sort of legendary for its time, and I've come to realize between this and Letters from Whitechapel, I don't like hidden movement games where you're hunting a player and you don't know where they are. But the bigger crime in Dracula to me than Letters from Whitechapel is the combat is just card driven, and nothing really matters. You're just taking off increments of health here and there. And once the chase is on, I thought the game was painfully dull. Because Dracula has a few ways to escape, but it was never exciting.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So you're probably not a fan of War of the Ring either?
No.
Where the party stays hidden and you got to try to locate them in Middle Earth. Okay, I understand. I like that. I have Fury of Dracula. Got it to the table once, and we were a little underwhelmed, just to be honest with you. I wish there was more of Dracula was more than just something hidden in the shadows. He should be even though that's
thematic.
That's thematic,
Yeah.
but let's make him center stage. Let's go to his castle or something. Let's do something a little bit more than just he's running around the table and trying to pop out and kill you kind of thing. I don't know. I'm with you there. Yeah.
All right, my number 3 is #same. It's Fury of Dracula. That is my number 3.
Yeah.
So let's just my number 2 is First Martians. It's not my style of game again. But it does have some good qualities to it. It's just not something that I really want to delve back into.
It's Robinson Crusoe in space.
Yes.
It runs by an app. It has more things going wrong with computer systems, and air supply, and everything else. And I'm with you. The game I played once or twice. I'm like, I get it. It's just not doing much for me.
That's a great comparison.
It is. It's the same thing.
Yes.
Yep. Okay, our number 2s.
Dead of Winter. I know this is a popular game.
Oh,
Adam.
huge game.
It's a popular game.
I love Dead of Winter, but go ahead.
I just don't connect to it.
Right.
It's not just tired zombie angle. You have the base being overrun. You're going out for supplies. It's just looking through these decks of cards. There may or may not be a trader. You have a hidden objective, like maybe you're.
All that sounds so boring. There may, the chance to get wounded and hurt every single time you leave the base. Tension as it builds, as the zombies swarm over you.
And this is this isn't something I've come to recently. It's even from the first play on. The game has never blossomed for me the way it has blossomed for other players. I recognize it's a very popular game, but
I think it's popular because of the way that it unifies everyone.
Not me.
As they play. I mean, as they play.
I just want to go in the shed and be by myself. Take my supplies with me. So
okay, fair enough.
Dead of Winter is not for me.
Fair enough. We're number 2, right?
Number 2.
So my number 2 is a popular party game, and it's Cards Against Humanity. I played it once and thought it was okay. The second time we played it, I got kind of tired of it. The humor is just not really for me, to be honest with you.
I'm going to go a step further.
It's just,
I don't think it's a game.
Maybe it's not.
It's not a game.
It's kind of like improv where you use cards to entertain yourself.
It's improv for people without creativity.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
No. I have to disagree. There is a game aspect to it with the whole collection of cards in order to gain advantage.
Yeah. I don't know. I know it's hugely popular and there's several versions of it, and it's just not for me. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. So
I like
that's my number 2. Is that all the number 2s?
Yep.
Now the big number 1, the game above all the others that we described, you never want to play again. I'll kick this one off.
Okay.
Shadows over Camelot was a game that came out ahead of the rush of board gaming.
Can't believe we're friends.
And I think I'm discovering I may just really not like the hidden trader mechanic. But this was a game where you only have a few spaces to move and fix the problems because Camelot's falling apart. There's threats everywhere. And it just feels like your turn was super obvious and what to do. There was no decision space. Again, I'm just going to sit here and deal with this whatever negative resource and remove it. And it's going to take 30 minutes to get back to me because you guys are all going to talk about what you're going to do. Oh, and so is the traitor because they played wrong the first turn.
I will say this. I think some of your assessment is correct. But I think this is a wonderful family game. I think this is a great game if you have younger children just getting into board game. The Arthurian skin that's on it, it's card based, so you match cards up. It's easy kind of to learn. And to me, I think it's a great gateway game for families that that are in that 8 to 10, 11-year-old range that to kind of transition them. So I'm going to push back just a little bit.
No, absolutely. I know it's been popular. The game that fought for it when I was thinking about this style of game was actually Battlestar Galactica. That game slows down way too much for me with all the voting.
Right.
It just really turns into a slog, especially once the traitor's been revealed. And it's just one of those games that 2 turns in, I'm ready for it to be over.
Yeah. But I think you make some valid points about your assessment of the game. I do still like it very much, though. I think number 1, Grant, your number 1?
My number 1 is a very old game. It's called Worst Case Scenario. It's basically a game where you answer a question, you roll the dice, and repeat. And for me, that's it's a little bland. I am a survivalist. I love the ideas behind it and the fact that you can make these decisions, but then it's that roll of the dice that tells you whether or not it works.
Never played it, so I have no point of reference. Okay. And my number 1 is, let me say it, Eclipse. And Eclipse is a where you control an interstellar civilization competing with its other rivals to explore new star systems, research technologies, build spaceships, and wage war. And we played this at a buddy of ours' house a couple years ago, and it just turned into a slog of make my turn and wait and wait and wait. It got to the point where I would do my move, leave the room, go lay on the couch, take a 20-minute nap, come back. Okay, it'll be my turn in another 10 minutes. Go back out, come back, and then make my. And I don't know if we ever even finished it that night. I think we probably called it at some point because it was like 2 a.m. in the morning. And so I'm sure for a certain niche, maybe we had too many players. I don't know what it was, but I swore after that night, I said, it's a wonderful game. It's a very popular game, very well designed. But to me, it was just a slog, and I could not handle Eclipse.
Now, you've never played Twilight Imperium. It's a big game, but here I think is going to be the difference maker for you.
Okay.
In Twilight Imperium, there are action cards, and each player gets to pick. So when they pick the card, they get to do the big, robust major action, and then everybody does a minor action. So you're literally doing something on everyone's
That
turn,
would be great. That would be much more engaging for me. Yes.
So you're not just sitting there waiting. Every time someone picks something, you get to do something over on your player area.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, guys?
We're good.
That's all of our number 1s?
So we want to hear about your never agains, or it's not you, it's me. Tell us what games that for whatever reason you don't like. It might be the mechanics. It might just be the people you have to play it with. There could be a lot of factors that come into why you would never want to play a game again. So we want to hear it. So put it in the comments below.
All right. That's going to wrap it up for this episode of Roll or Die. And man, again, subscribe so you can catch up all the content from the Pod 6 network. So
just slap that bell.
We'll see you on another episode of Roll or Die.